Hey everybody, I'm Rosemary and welcome back to my audio assist series where I've been sharing some of my audio and music production tips. Today I'll be talking about 3 of my favorite virtual instruments for synthesizer and keyboard sounds. So let's get to it. The first thing I want to talk about is actually the built-in Ableton instruments, which if you have Ableton Live, they're totally free and totally awesome. So I'm going to show you some of my favorites by creating a track from scratch using this drum break from my friend Tammuz. The first thing I want to create is a nice little synth pad. So I'm actually going to use operator here in the instruments tab. As you can see, the user interface is actually pretty simple. We have our oscillators, envelopes, LFO, filters, so everything you need is right in front of you. The first thing I'm going to do is turn down this track a little bit because it's not going to be the main focus of the song. And I'm going to turn the filter down a little bit. So already a pretty nice sound, but we're going to tweak it to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to turn the attack up a little bit because I kind of want to swell into these chords. That might be a little bit too much. And I think it needs a little bit more movement, so I'm going to turn the LFO on. Crazy. And let's try changing the waveform. Pretty cool. So let's record the synth pad. Okay, so now that we have our chords recorded, let's add some synth bass. Actually, one of my favorite Ableton presets was brought to my attention by Itamar, and this one is called Hip Hop Sub Bass. It already sounds pretty cool. I don't think I'm gonna need to tweak it that much. So let's record some synth bass. Cool. I think that sounds pretty fire. Now I want to add some more keyboards, so I'm going to start with some Rhodes. Over here in the instrument tab, there's this piano and keys section with a couple of different cool sounds. My favorite for Rhodes is this old school Rhodes. And it's quite a quiet instrument, so I'm going to actually put some compression on it. Let's record some Rhodes now. The Rhodes sound is kind of in the background, but that's okay. I want to add some piano, and I'm going to use this grand piano patch. This is kind of an example of what I've been trying to experiment with, just using the Ableton presets, because a lot of them are actually really cool, and it's kind of a fun limitation to put on myself. So using this grand piano, it sounds pretty good as is. I usually like to add some glute compression to let it cut through the mix, and a little bit of reverb. Even though it's not an Ableton preset, I really like to use isotope vinyl on this grand piano, kind of give it a more warbly, lo-fi kind of sound, and it's actually a free plugin, so I would definitely recommend you go download it. This is isotope vinyl. My favorite feature of this is the warp depth, which kind of gives it a more warbly sound. I also like to add a little bit of this dust effect, kind of give it some crackliness. And you can also change the year you want to try to simulate, which can kind of give it a really cool old schooly effect. This is a great plugin and it's free, so why would you not download it? Let's add some piano. That's a little taste of the kind of stuff that I've been using with Ableton. Another virtual instrument that I really love is Addictive Keys by XLN Audio. Addictive Keys has a couple of different instruments: modern, upright, studio grand, electric grand, and Mark I. So depending on what kind of sounds you're looking for, you can buy them separately for $89.95, or you can buy bundles of 2 or 3 instruments. So I put this Addictive Keys on the piano track, and let's try to find a sound that we like for the piano sound. Like that modern upright. So as you can see, there's a lot of different presets and you can also edit them individually. Now let's find a good Rhodes sound for our little Rhodes patch. Cool. Again, so the Rhodes sound is kind of in the background. We don't need it to be too loud, and it's just kind of a little sparkle on the track. Now, if you really want to go all out with your virtual instruments, I would recommend the Arturia V collection, which goes for $4.99. This collection includes a wide variety of legendary instruments such as the B3 organ, clavinet, Rhodes, Whirly, you name it, and also a wide variety of legendary synthesizers such as the ARP 2600, CS80, Mini Moog, DX7, and many more. So let me show you some of my favorites. As you can see here, this is the whole collection. I don't have the latest version of the Arturia collection, so there's a couple of other options that I don't have. Let's try adding the piano now. So we have all Arturia instruments. So now we have our Arturia piano. Let's add the Stage 73 so we can find a nice little Rhodes sound. I usually like to use the Prophet for Synth Bass and Synth Sounds. I actually have a saved Square Bass patch. So now we have our Arturia Synth Bass, and I'm going to add the Prophet again to our Synth Pad track, and I'm going to go through some of the presets and try to find one that I like. So those are my 3 favorite virtual instruments. I hope this video was somewhat helpful. Feel free to leave a comment with any questions or topic suggestions, and I'll be back soon with another video. Thanks!